My name's Esther, I'm 18 and I live here technically, but I go to university in Bristol.
My name's Robbie and I live in Hackney.
My name is Rudy Disney and I live in Stamford Hill, Hackney. Me and my family, we live in a flat and I've lived here all my life. My family moved in here like 3 years before I was born.
We moved here when I was 4, so I've been here 14 years now, and this is always my room. On the 3rd day of lockdown, me and my mum made the collage wall with like wallpaper paste and all her old magazines that she's been collecting since like the 80s, so there's some really fun old magazines in there. And I feel like that's now kind of set the vibe for the rest of the room. There are some really fun photos on there of this photographer who took photos of like kind of 80s like balls, and like with loads of kind of debauchery going on, and that's really fun. There's one of a man pushing a gun into a pool.
People are affected by films and social media, definitely. Like there's such large trends, especially within the last few years, just coming straight off social media and people just like completely like adopting it and like covering their whole walls with it.
Pop culture is important, especially on teenage girls' bedrooms. When you think of like, you know, in the 1960s, the Beatles room, so it'd be, you know, the girl and her, every single inch of her room would be the Beatles and like Paul McCartney. Then you know, that can kind of translate to One Direction. There's a thing of like faces on your wall and the people you look up to, the people that you like. I think teenagers have always been doing that.
Well, my room's changed like a whole bunch. Like almost every 2 years, like me and my mum have like thought about like ways to change it up. Well, most recently we had made this bed, or put it together at least. She sort of painted it and like made the frame, but we had put it together. And in the past, when we had sort of like put up walls, because they sort of like want a bit of like privacy with me and my brother, so we'd put up like just small walls. I mean, it's handy learning how to drill, I guess.
When I was really little, the room was completely different. It had red carpet, the walls were blue and themed with like underwater. Oh yeah. So I used to have a pet lizard and I kept her in a cage, like a little terrarium that was underneath my bunk bed. There was like a little like nook that you could put stuff in, and that's where I kept my lizard, and the crickets and worms she used to eat as well.
Oh, I'm definitely a sentimental person. Like, there's so many knickknacks in here.
I find it really hard to get rid of things.
I remember when I was little, I cried because my family had to throw away our car battery, and I was like, I miss the old car battery, like we shouldn't get a new one.
I feel quite sorry for inanimate objects. Anything with eyes, I could never get rid of. I like have slight hoarding tendencies.